Hello friends and potential friends. Well, a couple of weeks ago you may have seen me harvesting some sweet potatoes, and in one of my more recent videos you may have seen me harvesting my very first okra. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and try to turn these things into something edible. Got a few of my sweet potatoes all washed up, my 4 okra pods that I harvested. Got an egg to make everything stick together, and a pork chop I cut out of a pork loin I got from Sam's a while back. Along with that, I'm going to need some breading for the okra. So I've got some all-purpose flour. I'm going to use some of Peanut Pepper's 1X seasoning mix. I'll also be putting some of that on the pork chop, by the way. A little bit of black pepper. Got some kosher salt. And I may or may not put some paprika into it. Oh, and I made some breadcrumbs last night. The bugs got into my cornmeal, which I was going to use, so decided to go with the breadcrumbs instead. But let me get this a little bit better prepared. Chop up the sweet potatoes and the okra and mix up the breading. And then I'll bring you back and we'll see what we're doing. Okay, got the okra cut up. Cut up the sweet potatoes into French fry shapes, and also put them in that bowl and drizzled some olive oil over them. Got them good and coated with the olive oil. The pork chop is over in the basket for the air fryer. I've mixed up the breading. I used about half a cup of the breadcrumbs. Added in about a quarter of a teaspoon of black pepper, quarter of a teaspoon of the kosher salt, and about a teaspoon of peanuts spice. And in the little bowl there, I've got the egg beat up. Basically what I've got to do now is take the okra, put it in the egg wash. From there it'll go into the breadcrumbs, and then after it comes out of the breadcrumbs, it's going to go into the basket. And then whatever room I have left in the basket, I'll fill up with sweet potato fries. So let me go ahead and do that. I mean, you know how all that works, so you don't have to watch me doing it. And then I'll bring you back. Okay, there's my air fryer basket. Pork chop, nice and spicy. Okra, and the lightly oiled French fries. That goes into the air fryer. Ooh. After I clean up my mess. I'll be setting the air fryer at 400 degrees. I know that those pork chops take 16 minutes to cook, right? I watched a few videos this morning on okra. Those generally run between 10 and 15 minutes to cook them, usually stopping in the middle to shake them up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and set the air fryer on 8 minutes at 400 degrees and see what happens. I'll be checking back with them as soon as the buzzer goes off. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Let that come up to heat, and I'll bring you back when there's something worth looking at. Okay, 8 minutes is up. Let's see what we got so far. Pork chop is starting to cook nicely. It looks like the okras are starting to cook up pretty good. I'm just going to mix these around a little bit. Check one of the French fries. Those are coming along good. I'm going to spray a little bit of oil on the okra. Yeah, everybody uses spray canola oil or spray olive oil and all those fancy things. I'm just using what I got. I'll put that back in the air fryer for about another 8 minutes, and then we'll see what we have at the end of that point. Okay, another 8 minutes is come and gone. The alarm just went off. And that looks pretty good. Can you see that? Oh yeah. So let me get this plated up and we'll see what we've got. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Get that out there where you can see it. French fries look good and done. Tastes good too. Okra's a bit crispy. Still chewy inside. Yeah, I think this one's a success. And the best thing about this kind of experimental cooking, even if it turns out wrong, you can still usually eat the evidence. So, if you'll excuse me, my friends, I'm going to go devour some evidence, and I'll see you on the next video.